He was a third overall pick in the NFL draft, the future of the New York Jets, and on a Monday night in front of 40 million people, mic'd up on live national television, he sat on the sideline, put his head down, and said 3 words that ended everything. "I'm seeing ghosts." By morning, he was a meme. By the next season, he was traded, and for 6 years, every bad throw reminded the world of those 3 words. Then, he won the Super Bowl. This is Sam Darnold. Act 1. The Chosen Kid. Sam Darnold grew up in Dana Point, California. Surf town. Laid back. A kid who threw a football the way other kids breathed. Naturally. Effortlessly. Like it was the only thing he was ever supposed to do. By the time he got to USC, the scouts were losing their minds. At 21 years old, he was posting a passer rating of 116.8, the highest ever recorded by a quarterback that young in NFL history. Not top 5, not top 10, the highest ever. The 2018 draft was stacked. Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, a generational class. And in every war room across the league, Sam Darnold's name was at the top of somebody's board. The New York Jets didn't just pick him, they traded up to make sure nobody else could. Third overall, franchise quarterback, the future of New York. In his very first rookie season, Darnold set the record for the highest completion percentage by a rookie quarterback in a single season. The city believed, the organization believed, the media believed. And then, the New York Jets happened. Act 2. The Jets. If you want to understand what Sam Darnold went through, you first have to understand what it means to play quarterback for the New York Jets. No offensive line, constant coaching changes, a revolving door of wide receivers, and the most brutal media market in the world, sitting there with knives out, waiting for the moment anything goes wrong. In 2019, in his second season, Darnold went to the training room and didn't come back out. The diagnosis from the doctors? Mononucleosis, the kissing disease, in a 22-year-old NFL quarterback. His coaches drove to his apartment to tell him personally. When they knocked on his door with those stoic faces, Darnold thought they were joking. He laughed. "They told me I had mono," he said later, "and I immediately started laughing. I thought they were joking." It wasn't a joke. He missed 3 straight games while a backup who'd never thrown an NFL touchdown ran the offense of a team built around their franchise guy. When Darnold came back, he was sharp. He lit up the Dallas Cowboys. Over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, a Jets win. New York exhaled. Then came Week 7, Monday Night Football, the New England Patriots. Sam Darnold was wearing a microphone, contractually required to, no choice. The Patriots did what the Patriots always do. They disguised coverages, shifted defenders pre-snap, made a 22-year-old quarterback see things that weren't there. By the second quarter, it was 24-0. After his third turnover, Darnold walked to the sideline and sat down. Not talking to a coach, not drawing plays, just sitting there, defeated, talking to himself. "I'm seeing ghosts." NFL Films aired it live. 40 million people heard it. By the next morning, it was the biggest sports meme in the country. The box score made it worse. 11 completions out of 32 attempts, 86 yards, 4 interceptions, a fumble, a passer rating of 3.6. He didn't even play badly on purpose. The Patriots were just that good, and he was that young, and he never should have been mic'd up to begin with. His own teammates were furious. Running back Le'Veon Bell went on Twitter that night and wrote, "The NFL screwed Sammy over." Didn't matter. The ghost was out of the bottle. And in New York, once a narrative sticks, it never lets go. Act 3. Traded, benched, forgotten. Sam Darnold was traded to the Carolina Panthers for a 2nd-round pick, a 4th-round pick, and a 6th-round pick. He was 23 years old, already being replaced, already a cautionary tale. In Carolina, nothing worked. He started, then lost a job to a rookie. Started again, lost it again. By 2022, he was on injured reserve. 2 seasons in Charlotte, 16 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. A 1-to-1 ratio that told you everything. In 2023, the San Francisco 49ers signed him, not as a starter, as a backup. 3rd on the depth chart, holding a clipboard behind Brock Purdy, a 7th-round pick playing like an MVP. This is where most quarterback stories end quietly. A guy collects a paycheck, watches from the sideline, and eventually disappears into television commentary or a front office job somewhere, forever defined by a moment he can't shake. But Sam Darnold made a choice in San Francisco that changed everything. He sat, he watched, he studied. Kyle Shanahan, one of the greatest offensive minds in NFL history, spent an entire season teaching Darnold how to process a defense before the snap. Not just the plays, the thinking behind the plays. Where to look, what to eliminate, how to know where the ball is going before the center even moves. He didn't just learn a new playbook, he learned how to be a quarterback for the first time. On Christmas night 2023, Purdy got hurt. Darnold came in. He led the 49ers on a comeback drive, and when he walked off the field, something had shifted. That was like, okay, I can do that. I can lead this team if I needed to. In March 2024, the Minnesota Vikings offered him 1 year, $10 million, no guarantees, and a competition for the starting job against rookie J.J. McCarthy, the 10th overall pick, the player the Vikings had specifically drafted to be their guy for the next decade. Darnold was the bridge, the placeholder, the seat warmer. That was fine with him. Act 4, the resurrection. 3 weeks before the 2024 season, J.J. McCarthy tore his meniscus in the preseason. The seat was no longer warm. It was his. Week 1, Minnesota Vikings versus the New York Giants. MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. The same building, the same field where Sam Darnold had sat on a bench 5 years earlier and told the entire country he was seeing ghosts. He completed his first 12 passes, didn't miss once. Final line, 19 of 24, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns. Vikings win, 28-6. The next week, he faces former team, the San Francisco 49ers, the team that had rebuilt him. He threw a 97-yard touchdown pass to Justin Jefferson. The Vikings won again. The NFL went very quiet. Something was happening that nobody had predicted. By December, Darnold had led Minnesota to a 14-2 record, 35 touchdown passes, a passer rating of 102.5, his first Pro Bowl. He became the first quarterback in NFL history to record 14 wins in his first season with a team since 1950. The numbers tell the story better than anything. Over his first 6 seasons, Darnold threw 63 touchdowns and 63 interceptions, a perfect, damning 1-to-1 ratio. In the 2024 season alone, he threw 35 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, a 3-to-1 ratio. He was statistically a different player. The ghosts were gone. There was just one problem. The Vikings didn't want him back. Minnesota had drafted J.J. McCarthy 10th overall. He was the long-term plan. He had always been the long-term plan. And Darnold had played the best football of his life in a 1-year rental nobody expected to matter. After the best season of his career, he was a free agent again. 35 touchdowns. No contract. Walking out the door because a team believed more in a draft pick they'd never seen play than in the quarterback who just won 14 games for them. Act 5. Seattle and the exorcism. The Seattle Seahawks signed him in March 2025. 3 years, $100.5 million. 6 years earlier, Sam Darnold was the Jets' cornerstone investment. Then he was a punchline, then a backup, then a rental, and now he was a $100 million quarterback, not because a team took a chance on a high draft pick, but because he had earned it, slowly, painfully, in cities that had no use for him anymore. The 2025 season wasn't clean. 14 interceptions, moments where the old doubts flickered across the faces of people watching. But when the game was on the line, he was different. 9 fourth-quarter comeback drives between 2024 and 2025, the most in the entire NFL. The guy who used to see ghosts in the pocket was now the person opponents feared in the final minutes of a close game. Seattle finished with 14 wins, NFC's top seed, Super Bowl LX, Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots. The same franchise, the same organization that had humiliated him on national television 6 years ago. The same defense that had made him sit on a bench and say those 3 words into a microphone for the entire world to hear. He threw for 241 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Seattle won, 29-13. When the whistle blew, Sam Darnold fell to his knees on the field. Super Bowl champ. First quarterback from the 2018 draft class to win it all. And the first Super Bowl winning quarterback in history to have once missed games due to mononucleosis, a detail the internet will never let die. And at this point, he probably wouldn't want it to. Here is what this story actually is. It's not about talent. Sam Darnold had talent at 21 and it wasn't enough. It's not about the right team or the right system. He had bad teams and bad systems, and those weren't the whole story either. This story is about what he did in San Francisco in 2023, when he was nobody, when the cameras were pointing at Brock Purdy, when nobody was writing comeback articles about Sam Darnold. He sat, he watched, he learned, without complaining, without demanding a trade, without telling anyone he deserved better. That one quiet, invisible year built everything else. The Seeing Ghost clip will never leave the internet. The mononucleosis graphic will always get recycled whenever he throws a bad pass. The memes traveled with him from New York to Carolina to San Francisco to Seattle. He won anyway, not by escaping who he was, by becoming something better. Sam Darnold, Super Bowl champion, and one of the greatest comeback stories the NFL has ever seen.